The airport destroys illusions first. Then luggage second. You learn this too late, usually beside gate 47. Usually exhausted. Usually wearing confidence. Like expensive armor. Then the carousel stops moving, and your suitcase never arrives. Your presentation disappears with it. Your suits vanish. Your laptop charger vanishes. Your carefully rehearsed control vanishes. Now what remains? Only character. Most men fail there. Not during negotiations. Not during competition. During inconvenience. A delayed suitcase reveals more truth than success. Because anger loves humiliation, especially public humiliation. Especially expensive humiliation, especially international humiliation. You feel watched. Judged. Cornered. The body reacts instantly. Heart racing. Jaw tightening. Thoughts accelerating violently. Your brain screams betrayal. Your nervous system declares war. Over fabric and wheels. Strange, isn't it? Marcus Aurelius understood this centuries ago. Not in airports. In battlefields. Far worse environments existed then. Yet his principle survived everything. You control perception first, or perception controls you. That sounds simple, until disaster becomes personal. Imagine this. You land in Singapore. 9 hours before your biggest pitch. Potentially life-changing money awaits. Executives expect precision. Your company expects victory. Your future depends on performance. Then the airline clerk smiles mechanically. Sir, your luggage remained in Frankfurt. That sentence changes everything. Suddenly, your mind creates catastrophe films. You imagine embarrassment, failure. Mockery. Career damage. Why? Because the brain hates uncertainty. Modern psychology confirms this brutally. The amygdala cannot distinguish social threats from physical threats. Your body treats humiliation like survival danger. That explains the rage. Not excuses it. Explains it. Seneca warned about this exact trap. He called anger temporary. Madness. Temporary. Madness. Think carefully about those words. Madness does not announce itself politely. Madness feels justified. Always. Especially during inconvenience. Especially when someone else caused it. Airports specialize in this emotional chemistry. No control. No certainty. No timeline. Just fluorescent lights and helplessness. Perfect conditions for emotional collapse. So what separates calm people? Preparation? Sometimes. Discipline? Partially, but mostly perspective. The calm traveler understands one terrifying truth. Nothing is owed to him. Not efficiency. Not fairness. Not comfort. Epictetus repeated this constantly. Expect disruption. Then disruption loses power. Simple philosophy. Difficult execution, because ego resists reality. You planned perfectly. You arrived early. You paid premium prices. You behaved responsibly. So chaos feels insulting. Personal. But chaos never targeted you. Chaos simply arrived. The moment you understand this, breathing changes. Your shoulders lower slightly. The emotional temperature cools. Now rational thought can return. And rational thought saves. Careers. Imagine the alternative. You scream at employees. You threaten lawsuits. You insult exhausted workers. Everyone watches silently. Phones appear discreetly. Now your anger becomes theater. And theater destroys authority. Corporate. Calm matters because observers remember pressure behavior. Anyone can smile during comfort. Executives study reactions during collapse. Your future clients notice everything, especially emotional instability, especially entitlement, especially panic disguised as confidence. One uncontrolled airport scene can poison years of credibility, all because fabric disappeared temporarily. Is that logical? Of course not. Anger rarely is. Modern neuroscience explains another ugly detail. Rage narrows. Intelligence. Blood flow shifts. Higher reasoning weakens. Impulse strengthens. That means your worst decisions emerge during emotional flooding, exactly when you need sharpness most. This explains why ancient Stoics obsessed over emotional control, not morality. Efficiency. A calm mind calculates accurately. An angry mind improvises destruction. Massive difference. So what should happen instead? First, silence, not fake positivity. Silence. Silence interrupts. Escalation. You buy psychological distance. Just seconds matter. 10 calm seconds can prevent catastrophic words. Marcus Aurelius practiced this internally. He questioned emotional assumptions immediately. Does this event truly harm me? Important question, because missing luggage feels devastating, yet usually remains survivable. Uncomfortable. Expensive. Embarrassing. But survivable. Your nervous system exaggerates consequences automatically. Recognizing exaggeration weakens panic. Then comes the second step. Adaptation without self-pity. This separates adults from emotional children. Demand reality change immediately. Adults adjust strategy rapidly. You need clothes? Buy temporary ones. Need presentation materials? Rebuild them. Need composure? Earn it manually. One action at a time. No drama required. Seneca once wrote about rehearsing adversity mentally. People misunderstood him completely. He was not pessimistic. He was prepared. Preparation reduces shock, and reduced shock preserves intelligence. Think about experienced travelers. Why do they remain calmer? Because expectations evolved. They already know systems fail constantly. Flights disappear. Hotels overbook. Technology crashes. Humans forget things. Reality remains unstable forever. Accepting instability creates strange emotional freedom. Now imagine entering that business pitch anyway. Different clothes. Minimal. Sleep. Internal exhaustion everywhere. Yet emotionally steady. That changes the entire atmosphere. People feel calm before they understand it. Intellectually. Composure radiates non-verbally. Your voice slows. Your movements sharpen. Your decisions simplify. Confidence becomes quieter. Ironically, adversity can improve presence. Why? Because survival strips vanity. You stop performing perfection. You start communicating truth. That authenticity becomes magnetic. Some executives trust imperfect calm more than polished arrogance, especially internationally, especially under pressure. There is another hidden lesson here. Most anger actually masks grief, not violence. Grief. You grieve lost expectations. The smooth trip vanished. The perfect image vanished. The illusion of control vanished. And humans mourn control obsessively. But control was always temporary. Airports merely expose this brutally. The Stoics understood something modern society forgot. Peace never comes from circumstances. Circumstances mutate constantly. Peace comes from response patterns. Internal architecture matters more than external convenience. Otherwise, your emotional state becomes rented property, owned by traffic, owned by strangers, owned by delayed systems, owned by random accidents. Imagine living permanently hostage to inconvenience, exhausting existence. Yet millions live exactly that way, controlled externally forever. One delayed package ruins entire weeks. One rude employee ruins entire relationships. One disrupted plan ruins identity itself. Why surrender such power? Why hand emotional authority to baggage systems? Because most people never train awareness. They react automatically. Animal first, human second. But awareness creates interruption. Interruption creates choice. Choice creates dignity, and dignity matters deeply during crisis, especially corporate crisis, especially international pressure. True professional remains stable publicly, even while frustrated privately, not fake calm. Real calm. Built slowly through repeated discipline. You cannot improvise emotional mastery suddenly. You rehearse it daily. During traffic. During delays. During mistakes. During disrespect. Every irritation becomes training. Every inconvenience becomes rehearsal. Then one day the airport tests everything. And suddenly you discover who you became, not who you imagined, who you became. That realization terrifies many people because self-image collapses under pressure quickly. The man who preached patience now screams publicly. The executive who demanded professionalism now insults clerks. Character reveals itself mercilessly during inconvenience, not during speeches, during disruption. So next time disaster appears unexpectedly, observe yourself carefully, not the airline, yourself. Watch the thoughts forming, watch the ego reacting, watch the nervous system demanding violence. Then ask one brutal question: will anger improve reality? Usually the answer humiliates you. No. It will not recover luggage faster. It will not restore dignity. It will not strengthen negotiation performance. It only spreads suffering further. First, internally. Then externally. And eventually professionally. Calmness, however, changes outcomes immediately. Calmness preserves intelligence. Calmness preserves image. Calmness preserves negotiation strength. Most importantly, calmness preserves self-respect. That matters more than luggage ever will. So when life embarrasses you publicly, remember this: anyone can remain composed during convenience. Only disciplined people remain composed during chaos. That is the real corporate test. Not presentations, not contracts, not titles, emotional control under humiliation. If this message disturb you slightly, good. It should. Most people never examine their reactions honestly. They simply justify them endlessly. But maybe you see yourself differently now. Maybe next time, silence arrives first. Maybe control survives the carousel. And maybe that changes everything. Subscribe if you value uncomfortable truths. Comment the last moment anger controlled your decisions. Be honest, most people never are.